Hey, hi, what's going on? Well, you know what's been going on the channel. November's over, and with that, it means that Doki Doki Literature Club is also over. The most fun that we've had in a high school literature club. Like I said in the last video, I thought that turned out pretty well. Never was kind of not really sure about doing a full playthrough of a visual novel. Especially one that really doesn't have any elements of gameplay, because of course I've played the Zero Escape games before, but those did have like game parts interspersed with visual novel, whereas Literature Club was just visual novel, but of course it did have its horror twist, and was much shorter than a full-length visual novel. And I thought it came out pretty well in the end. I thought that, I thought everything came together okay. I thought it was a good time, and I hope that you had a good time watching it. It seems like most of the people who were commenting anyway were having a good time. Talking about who the best girl is. Come on, they are all wonderful girls who are very interested in literature and nothing else. So how could you possibly ask who is the best girl? Natsuki. And knowing that they had such a good time with us in the literature club that had absolutely nothing to do with horror or anything frightening or gory. You know, it was just a wholesome time that everyone had throughout the school year. I was never a part of a literature club when I was in high school, so I got to experience it vicariously through video games. And isn't that what we do so often with video games? We say, I can't kill zombies with heavy ordnance in real life, so I'm going to do it in the game. Just so, I was never part of a literature club in high school, but now I feel like I have been. I assume that that was a one-to-one accurate recreation of what would happen in a literature club, including with the bleeding eyes and the stabbing. So much stabbing. I don't have first-hand experience, so it's just a guess on my part. But I'm just going to say that Team Salvato did probably, I assume, make a very accurate reproduction of what it is like to be in a literature club in Japan. And, you know, the only thing that I regret is that we never did find out if our main character was able to make time for the anime. You know, we had to stay after school every day and do poetry at home, so that cut into our anime time, and we don't really know if we were able to catch up on the series that we were watching. So that was a plot thread that was left hanging, and I guess we'll never know the answer to that. People did say that there is a, well, they called it a good ending that you can get if you play the game and then, like, save it right before... Well, no, you play the game and then you save it before you get to the parts where you make choices between the girls, like when you're making the poetry and you're making the poem to appeal to a certain girl. And then before, you know, the big event with Sayari, where things turn into horror, you reload, and then you get, like, the other path you didn't get. And the idea is that if you're able to get all of the CG scenes, then you get a slightly different ending in the end, from what people were saying. So it sounds like it's impossible to actually get that ending in one playthrough if you don't reload. You do have to reload the game and get all the paths, or not many paths. When I saw the credits at the end of mine, I think there were only 2 CGs that were not colored in. So it seemed like I got most everything on my single run-through, but there was a bit more that I could have gotten. Such as, I guess, going to Yuri's house before things became horrific. So we would have gotten a scene with her preparing for the festival. I guess you could probably also do that. Maybe you could do that with Sayari as well. I'm not sure. I also think that, look, there was a CG, it looked like there was one of Monica that I didn't see, but I don't know what that was. Anyway, just a little bit of potential replay value there, if in case you wanted to play the game yourself. The game, as I mentioned, is free, though if you buy it from Team Salvato directly, you can give them a little donation as well, which I did. But that's it for Doki Doki Literature Club. That's it for anime. That's it for pink polka dots, which we're seeing a lot of during that playthrough. I hope you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed not playing through it, but reading through it. And that's it for November. So now we're going into December. And what is happening on the channel in December? Well, of course, Shenmue 2 continues. That schedule does not change. I believe that we're heading into the end game of Shenmue 2, if I understand it correctly, that once we get into the Yellowhead building, we are approaching the end. I don't know how long the end is, mind you, but I think that we are approaching the end part of the game. So I don't know how much longer that has to go, but we are approaching the climax, such as it is. You know, that like you have a story with rising action. In Shenmue, the rising is very gradual. So gradual you might not notice the rising action, but it's there. It's there. And I'm sure that we will all enjoy the ending as we get into the Yellowhead building and save Yandazu from Danyu. And, you know, after Shenmue 2 is done, eventually, you know, Shenmue 3 is going to come out. It's supposed to come out, for right now, we understand it's supposed to come out next year, 2018. Kickstarter games are always delayed, though, so who can say? But we'll see how that goes. When Shenmue 3... I do intend to play Shenmue 3. I don't know if I'll play it right when it comes out, but I do intend to play that at some point. Because I've been enjoying Shenmue 2. Even though I make fun, and I make a lot of fun, I have been enjoying Shenmue 2. What else? So, The Witness continues, of course, and The Witness is... It does seem like it is approaching its end, finally. I guess you'll see more of that with the next Witness video, but it does seem like I am almost at the end point of that, I assume. And what else are we doing? Well, with Doki Doki Literature Club over, I have to find something that will take its slot. What will take its slot? Well, it's not what's on the screen right now. If you've been wondering what it is you've been seeing, this is just me playing Opus Magnum, which is the latest game from Zachtronics, the people who made Space Chem. If you ever played that? You ever play that? If you ever played Space Chem, and if you like Space Chem, Opus Magnum is really good, and you should play that. Though what you're seeing on the screen right now is me struggling with one of the bonus puzzles after the story mode is over. And I am having a lot of trouble with what you're seeing on the screen right now, and I don't know what to do. But I just wanted to have something on the screen while I'm talking about things. No, Opus Magnum is something I played in my spare time. It's not what the next game on the channel is going to be. But you should play Opus Magnum if you like puzzle games, and if you like Space Chem, Opus Magnum is really good. But what am I going to be playing for December? Okay. So just like with Doki Doki Literature Club, and just like with The Ring, Terror's Realm, I have recorded another full playthrough to be posted in December. This one actually is going to take longer than December, because the playthrough ended up being longer than could be posted in 1 month. So this is going to be like December, and I think the first half of January, probably, being posted with the same schedule of Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. The same schedule that I had for Literature Club and The Ring. And so what game is it going to be? Well, for this game, I broke out the PlayStation 2 and played through the voice-controlled survival horror game Lifeline. Voice-controlled in big ol' quotes. Just put as many quotes as you can around the word controlled. So what's Lifeline like? Well, okay, let me try to give you this picture. Imagine if you're playing a survival horror game. Let's say Resident Evil 1 or 2. You know, let's go with those early Resident Evils. Let's say you were playing something like that, but instead of the controller, you are talking into a headset and telling Chris or Jill what to do. And then, like at least half of the commands they don't recognize, or sometimes you'll say something and they do something completely different. Like, imagine if you were playing Resident Evil and you press the button to shoot the gun, but instead of shooting the gun, like, Chris would turn around. Does that sound fun? It sounds like a lot of fun, right? No! No, it's not! No, it is not a lot of fun! Maybe you'll have fun watching it, but I would say that this is it has to be one of the most frustrating games that I've ever played. That's not the same thing as being bad. It's not outright bad like The Ring was. Production values are much higher in Lifeline. Voice acting, much better. It's not outright bad. But it is very frustrating to play, and I am glad that Lifeline is over. For me, it's not over for you, because it's yet to be posted. It's going to be posted, and you'll get to watch. And like I said, hopefully you'll have a good time watching it. I didn't exactly have a good time playing it. Like, at first, if you watch the first videos, I'm having a pretty good time. I'm pretty jolly about the whole thing and how the game is kind of broken and doesn't really work. By the end of that playthrough, I don't find it very funny anymore. I don't find it very funny. So now I watch that first video and think about how I'm laughing at the game, and I think, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. But now I know. And you'll know too. Because you're going to get to watch Lifeline. So that'll be around a month and a half, looking at how many videos it came out to be. I think it was something like 22 videos. Let me take a look at that. How many videos did Lifeline turn out to be? Just looking at the number right now. 22 videos, yes. 22 videos, roughly around a half hour long, of playing a voice-activated survival horror game. So you'll get to be watching that starting today. The first video will be going up today, and like I said, we'll be following the schedule of Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So in December, it'll be Lifeline, Shenmue 2 will continue, and The Witness will continue. We'll see which one finishes first. Not really sure at this point, but Shenmue 2 and Witness, one of those is probably going to end kinda soon. We'll see which one. We'll see which one. And we'll see what happens after that. Not really sure right now, running a few different possibilities in my mind as to what I would want to do after one of those games is over. Not entirely sure right now, but we'll see. We'll see. And I guess just in general, I would say I hope that you've been enjoying the videos. I hope that you've been having a good time, and as always, I've been having a good time recording them. I never really know how good of a game is going to be for me to play before I get to it, and so far, The Ring and DDLC have been pretty good. And wait, hold on, I just noticed that I'm almost out of time on this video. Video's about to end, and I'll see you another time.